Good afternoon, students. Next, we are going to see about the lab experiment 20 CS 404L, that is a database management system laboratory. It is a seventh experiment we are going to see. So still now, we have seen about six experiments. Now we are going to see about the seventh experiment, that is implementation of ER diagram and normalization. So generally, you have studied about this ER diagram and normalization in second unit in DBMS. In first unit, we have studied about what is DBMS and what is how to create a DBMS and how to store data in DBMS in different formats. Okay, in first unit, you have studied about SQL, that is structured query languages. That is, you can able to store your data in table formats. Okay, for that we have created queries. First, you have created table and you have inserted table and you have updated table and you have inserted the records. And if you want, you have deleted the table. And if you want, you have updated the table. And you have want if you have altered the table. And we have deleted, truncated, drop command and select operations. Whatever the fields you want, you have selected from the tables. So these kind of different operations has been done in unit one. That is by using tables, right? Now in here we are going to store our data in diagram formats. So not only we are going to store our data in table formats. Okay, in first unit you have studied about tables, only tables, structured query language. So whenever you are going to create a DBMS, that will be created in a table format. Okay, so in ER diagram, so which stands for entity relationship model. It is a high level data model. This model is used to define the table elements and relationship for a specified system. It develops a conceptual design for the database. It also develops a very simple and easy to design view of data. So generally, if you draw a diagram in the diagram format, it is easy to understand for us. So in this diagram, we are going to see how to create a here diagram, that is entity relationship model diagram. So it is also one of the structure where we are going to store our data, okay, in our DBMS formats. So generally in DBMS we have different shapes. That is, we are going to have entity, attributes, and relations. So entity will have our main content that will be used as entity. Attribute, one entity may have different attributes, and in that we have different categories. That is key attribute, composite attribute, multi attribute, and derived attribute. These you have studied all in your second unit. Okay, then we are going to find relationship. What's relationship between two entities? Like that, we are going to see. See, example, this is your entity. Employee and department comes under entity. We have two entities, and what is relationship entity ko, that is a relationship between your employee and department will comes under relationship. And attribute, a student have different attributes like ID, phone number, name, age, address, contact number, email ID. You can have any number of attributes for a particular entity. Okay, and this relationship. So what's the relationship between two entities? So here we have teacher and student. So teacher teaches to a student. So that is the attribute. So here we will see with an example. So this is your seventh experiment, implementation of here diagram and normalization. So before going to the diagram, you have to know what is here diagram. So you have studied in second unit. You have to know the what are the shapes you are going to use in ER diagram. That is how to create entity and what are the different shapes and attributes and what are the different shapes in relationship. How one to one relationship, one to many, many to one, many to many, different kinds of relationship is there. So you have to know all these things. And entity is a thing or object in the real world that is suitable for all objects. Common property, a real world objective is called entity. Okay, so a collection of entities is called an entity sets, and attributes is for a particular entity we have different attributes. Example, a customer can have customer ID, name, street, and attributes. So and attributes also it is comes under different types: simple attribute, composite attribute, single value attribute, and multi-valued attribute, and derived attributes. And this is relationship set. Relationship also comes under different formats. That is one to one, one to many to one, and many to many. So for drawing an ER diagram, go to this website, that is draw.io. Can make use of this online tutorial or online tool for drawing ER diagrams. So select your new device, select new diagram, and go to entity relationship diagram. So it will create. Oh, save this in editable image. So we have created. So delete this. So already I have drawn this one ER diagram. So here you have to select entity relationship. So it will list out all these shapes. Okay. So you have to draw this ER diagram. So I have taken this for hotel management and hospitality management. So like this, you have to take your own example. Okay. Every student has to take your own example because we have a number of examples, right? So you have to draw this diagram. So listen, already I have drawn this. So this is the diagram I have drawn this using this tool. So how we are going to draw this? Uh, we have entities. See, listen, we have entities and we have entity rounded and we have weak entities. Like this, you have to select first your entities. So first select what are the entities you have want. See, I have selected these entities and you have to enter your entity name here, rooms, department, like this. You have to enter all the entities and we have attributes. So this is single value attribute. So you have to choose attributes for a particular entities. A number of entities is there. Okay, like this. I can have my primary attribute also. Can select the weak entities also. Okay, like this you have to create an attributes for all. So I'm just showing one sample. Okay, like this you have to create for all. A sample image. So here this is the entity ER diagram I have drawn right now. So this is one example, right? So all this diagrams, and you have to select your relationship between two entities. So make your creativity to find what are the attributes we are having for a particular entities or entities entity attributes வேணாலும் இருக்கலாம். You have to find it and you have to find the relationship between two entities also. Okay, so this is the connecting diagrams. So I'm going to connect this. See, like this you have to connect your attributes, right? So one by one you have to connect and you have to connect your relationship. So relationship you have to choose whether it's one to n and this is 0 to 1 and this is 0 to n and this is many to many and this is 0 to 1 participation. So you have to make your relationship what kind of relationship you have. So we can give colors also. See I'm selecting different colors for each entities. So like this you have to make your creativity. So it's take times. So you have to draw this ER diagram. So complete this ER diagram and as well you will get like this. So this is the entity diagram, ER diagram, for which I have created for an hotel management system. So hotel management system has different entities, hotel, department, staff, rooms and guest. So total hotels have different attributes, name, location and rate. And department has department ID, name, head of the department, and staff has staff ID, mobile number, name, salary. So this is act as primary key. So I have selected in different colors. So staff has staff ID and mobile number, department has department ID, and rooms has room number, rate, and status, whether it is booked or not, like the status. And guest has guest name, ID, from which location he has come. So I have defined the attributes, and I have stored the selected the relationship. Hotel has rooms, hotel manages department, and department has staffs. And here's have to select this. Staff serves your serves guest, right? So we'll select this. Like this, you can select your colors. I'm choosing the relationship. So you can select your relationship like this. Staff serves a guest. Guest reserve rooms. Like this, you have to make your creativity for using this diagram. At last, save this one. Save as uh, that is editable with images. You have to save like this. At last, you can view your diagrams. So this is the diagram which we have drawn. See, this is your diagram. Okay, this is your first part of your program, drawing your diagram. So to draw this, you have to use your this tool. Okay, draw.io, this tool. By using this, you can draw your diagram. Next, we will go to normalization. Generally, what is normalization is, it is as a process of organizing the data in the databases. So we cannot have in real applications, you cannot stick with a minimum number of datas. Okay, in theory, we will create only a few rows and few columns. Imagine that if you have a large number of data sets, example, consider Anna University. So it has been created before independence itself. That is 1980, in nine no, before 9,000. That is 1995 or 1947. Before itself, it is created your university. Till from now, how many years it is running, so how many students, how many departments, how many staffs will be there, all the data is stored in the databases. Imagine large data sets. So I'm speaking about large data sets. So consider that table as 1 lakh rows and 1000 or 200 columns. I have to retrieve a data from this particular table. How it is possible? You should not have any redundancies. Okay, I have 1 lakh of rows and 200 of columns. In that, from this, I have to retrieve any one particular column. It is a 50,000 row or 55th thousandth row. I have to retrieve that data. How it is possible? I have to store my data in a proper order. So you should not have any redundancies, or you should not have any repetitions like this. For that only we have created normalization. So this is also you have studied in second unit. So there are different kinds of normalization: 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, 4NF, and 5NF. It is first normalization, second normalization, and third, fourth, and fifth. So first normalization, eliminating repeated groups. Repeated values should not be there. Second one is a partial dependencies should not be there. Third, transitive dependencies, multi-value dependencies, and joint dependencies. So first normalization form, it is an it contains an atomic value. Okay, so there should not be any repetitions. So that is your first normal form. That is, a column will have only unique